He didn't say he's sorry. That's the problem. Like, just plain and simple say, I'm sorry. Maybe he did say it, I just didn't hear that.
Oh, now she can't remember what he did and didn't say? Interesting. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, and we're reviewing Married at First Sight Australia Season 9, Episode 6, I think this is. Sorry for the late review. I'm currently on auntie duties, so I'm gonna be a single mother for a few weeks, but we're gonna try to get these, it's just me. I'm gonna try to get these out to you as quickly as possible. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let's get into it. So after a failed attempt at trying to kiss Samantha in the most awkward way ever, Al tries to ask where Samantha's head is at. And her thought process is, I don't want to tell him that I'm into him and then he uses it against me. Or maybe not use against me, but he takes it for granted.
I get nervous that if I tell you I am getting feelings for you and you feel super super in that, you'll just get this cool boy energy and be like, oh, well now I know she's just there and I can be mean to her and I don't have to try hard.
He claims, he says it over and over again, I'm in this, I'm committed for the long haul, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna have to see it to believe it. I'm gonna have to see it to believe it, because right now, it's giving very much childish. So I'm gonna need to see some more maturity from him. Speaking of maturity, we have Anthony reflecting on the situation that happened with Celine. I have my feelings, and I'm gonna try to keep it cute because I feel like there's three sides to every story, your side, their side, and the truth. And even though there's three sides, I'm on the side of Anthony. Celine is also shown recapping her thought process on what happened. And she's literally saying, I'm going to plead. Here comes my niece. Here she comes. Oh, okay, she's here to stay. Cool. So she decides that she is going to play victim, deliberately going to play victim. So it's going to be interesting how this pans out for her.
If I am there first, everyone will definitely hear my side of the story tonight. Anthony, he doesn't like confrontation, but he did leave our honeymoon one day early. That's not being a gentleman, not a man. So he has to accept the consequences.
So moving on to the actual dinner party, the first couple to come in is Dominica and Jack, who were looking super, super booed up. This is hectic. They are looking super booed up. Yes, baby. Maybe I should finish this when she's sleeping. Okay, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. First couple that comes in is Dominica and Jack, who are looking very, very booed up, followed by Holly and Andrew, and Tamara and Brent. And immediately you can tell that Tamara and Brent have different perspectives of how they're gonna handle this night. Brent is there being chill, socializing with all the other husbands, while Tamara's looking for the tea, and lucky for her, Holly is like, well, here it is. Here's a silver platter of everything that we're going through in our marriage.
Well, were you guys real brutal on it?
He was a little brutal, but he made a comment on something and I took it to heart. We were intimate, but then he said that he felt that I wasn't there.
One thing that I've noticed in new couples in general, but also on Married at First Sight, all the franchises, they underestimate the importance of a united front. And that's not to say fake it. That's not to say pretend like nothing's going on, but just be respectful in guarding what's going on in your relationship and then debriefing maybe afterwards. Because if you start having a lover's quarrel in front of people, it makes both parties want to be heard and want to be understood by the people in the room. So you've already hashed this out. But now it's becoming an issue again because you need to plead your case to a new set of people instead of just each other. So I'm like, ooh, Holly girl, come on. Don't rehash things that don't need to be rehashed. But she did. What? The light. Yep. It's still on. because I'm still recording. Yes. So next to join the party is Celine. And Celine is determined to tell her version of what happened. It's not her side of the story, but it's how she perceived it happened. And of course, it is filled with a whole lot of exaggeration.
Oh, you know, I'm a gentleman, I'm this, I'm that. And like, we went pottery, and then he put clay all in my face and hair. Then he didn't like how I reacted to it, because obviously I was like, that's enough in my face. The thing is, like, he said what he had to say, and then he would storm off.
She claims that the reason why he left was because she said she wasn't into him and that was a blow to his ego. And all the women are like, oh my gosh, typical fragile man, all this stuff, whatever. And then of course she said, oh, he was splashing water on me when we were kayaking. He put clay on me, like all over my face. She was just totally... You fixed it. Okay. She fixed it, guys. Just totally blowing everything out of proportion. And you can see that she clearly wanted the other women to blindly support her. If she came, played the victim, and didn't have any rebuttal from a partner, then of course the women who have already, they already kind of have a relationship with her from the hen party, they're going to side with her. And even as people, we tend to side with women who share a sympathy story because that's just how life is set up. And I hesitate to say this, but she really makes me wonder whether or not the betrayal she claims in her marriage really happened the way that it happened. Because she didn't explicitly say he cheated on her, but she said it was the biggest betrayal, which to me is cheating, right? But I'm now thinking, like, what part did she play in the dissolution of her marriage? I'm very skeptical that she was really the victim all the way in her own marriage. Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. So next to join is Ella and Mitch, along with Olivia and Jackson, Celine and Cody, and Samantha and Al. And then here comes Anthony. Oh my gosh, the tension was so thick in the room. Like, everybody was uncomfortable. They obviously did not greet each other. I don't even think Anthony took his time to go greet the other women in the room, but like, how could you? They were all flocking around Celine, right? So in an attempt to try to cut the tension, Al, being Al, was like, this is my time to shine.
There you go, Al.
Well, we haven't seen that before.
Okay, can I finish? Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be like this for the next few weeks, guys. Okay, just bear with me. All right. So now it's time for the actual dinner party, and it's clear to everybody that Celine and Anthony are not in a good place. They can't even fake the funk. It's really awkward to watch everybody looking all lovey-dovey while you have one couple clearly at odds, right? So now the women, mainly Dominica and Tamara, are chiming in, trying to say, well, give us your side of the story, Anthony. What happened? What's wrong? What's wrong?
Why don't you tell us your side of the story?
Okay, so in comes the cavalry.
Yep.
It's a conversation, it's a private conversation that I want to have with Celine, and that's with respect to everybody.
Which you
here.
could have had, but you left. So.
Since Anthony is actually a gentleman, he's like, listen, this is a conversation that I want to have with Celine in private. And they keep prying and they keep prying, but he's like, I'm not doing this. And I found it so funny how Celine was the one saying, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, and then proceeds to chuck it at him. Not even throw him under it, chuck the bus over him. Okay? So he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then here goes Holly trying to, I don't even know if you guys caught what she was trying to say. I didn't catch what she was trying to say. She was on some kind of tangent that nobody understood. But yeah, the situation kind of died down a little bit, right? So moving on to a couple other couples before we get back to them. Al is still trying to get out of the friend zone with Samantha, right? But his attempts are just, they're not working and they're childish. And quite frankly, she's right in saying you might just be too immature for this process.
Yeah. Who was that? That was us.
No, it's natural.
Give him a break. He's trying.
The problem is that all his gestures for romance are performative. I feel like there was a difference when you look at Anthony, there was genuinity in it. He's just that person. He wants to be chivalrous. He wants to be a gentleman. But with Al, there's a means to an end for what he's doing. He's doing all of this performative stuff because he wants kisses from her. He wants cuddles from her. But what he doesn't understand is you can get those things from being transparent, from being vulnerable. But constantly, doing all these antics just shows her that you're not really in this, and you're just gonna have to listen. The saying love is a risk is there for a reason. You're just gonna have to take the risk. You're just gonna have to take, you're just gonna have to take the risk that you put yourself out there and you're not received, right? But at least you put yourself out there. And you could put yourself out there and it works. But he would never know because he's trying to do all of this extra stuff that, quite frankly, no woman would be flattered by, especially Samantha. So on a happier note altogether, we have a few couples gushing about how well the experts did. And specifically, we have Ella and Dominica, I think it was. No, Olivia, even though Dominica is also having a great time. Ella and Olivia are talking about how great their connections are.
At the end of the aisle, I was like, holy shit, like, this is what they really, like, I don't know if I deserve this, but okay. It's the more, like, you get to know them, that's who they are. It's just, everything's working. Well, that's really hard to find.
They are good. They are in a good place. A lot of the couples are in a very good place, which makes Anthony think like, man, I really just want to get on a good page with her. We don't have to be back together, but let's at least be cordial. So he pulls Celine aside so that she can have her moment to speak. But of course, it comes with a whole lot of excuses.
You left, you up and left. Do you think there was any excuse for that?
What I'm saying is that I came to you with vulnerabilities, and I didn't feel like it was sort of being respected.
But sorry, just to cut you off. So my perspective is the reason why we're in this situation is because you left. Like, that's the issue. Like, you cannot communicate.
Even the experts listening into the conversation realize that there's a lot of accountability coming from Anthony and none coming from Celine, which is what he was trying to say. That's the reason why he walked out. It wasn't that y'all weren't communicating. It wasn't that, you said princess and stuff, which she did. He was saying, I acknowledge where I went wrong in the altercation. But you cannot sit here and look me in the eye and say, I did nothing wrong. And she's so adamant on saying that. It's pissing me off. It really is pissing me off. I cannot wait to see how the couples react when they watch what actually happened. And I wonder if they're going to give Anthony an apology because he did not deserve that third degree at dinner. Unless there's something about Anthony that we didn't get to see. I feel like everybody who said something bad about Anthony in terms of what actually happened needs to give him an apology because he deserves it. That's my 2 cents. And yes, I'm biased. I don't care. I really love Anthony. I do. I'm being nudged on the leg. That time is up. As always, I hope that you guys are engaged in the comments. I'm in there. I try my best to be in there, but sometimes I can't respond. But keep the conversation going. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.